Hello everybody, welcome back again. So today I've got something that I think is a little bit special. I'm readying up in one of my many, what I consider to be underrated mobile suits. So this is the Gym Corvette booster, I think it was. And it is a raid that can fly around like a jet and has a bunch of really good weapons on it. It can do a lot of really good damage. I see a lot of people have a hard time with it, partially because it's so big. It just makes itself a really easy target, but it can do really good if you can land hits with it pretty reliably and consistently. So, it's a bit underrated, but hopefully I can show off a little bit of why. So let me go over the weapons a little bit. I already showed off some of them. Here you've got that rifle there with burst fire capabilities. The right there I swapped off from it. Those missiles right there, you've got a pod of 10 rockets that aim based on where you're, or fly based on where you're aiming your camera. So they are controllable after firing a little bit. You've got that grenade launcher in the gun that stuns on hit. Gun fires and bursts, stuns pretty quick, and you've got a set of 4 missiles that do big damage when they connect. So those are really good missiles. One of my big recommendations for using this suit is to get good with those missiles in particular. Not specifically, you should be good with everything, right? But those missiles are going to give you some of your biggest damage outside of melee, because it does still have a good melee. Also has the downswing that the Gym Intercept has, which is a very good melee downswing. You'll get to see that quite a few times in this recording. And here's the flight mode as well. So I will take that and say that that was a strafing run. So you got the grenade launcher into downswing there. That's that intercept downswing I was talking about. He unfortunately got to dodge roll out of the knockdown, but damage was still gotten. Now we're getting really badly pummeled. So we are not going to survive much longer, but at least we got a little bit of damage before we dropped, right? But yeah, as I said, there's the drop. So now we wait for respawn. Oh, got gotten by the other raid too. That's kind of funny. Yeah, this map tends to be really good for raids. It's just a lot of very close quarters fighting. The most open area is probably that in the inside of the, or the upper layer of the inside of the colony. And even then, there's so much cover to use. So like most things that have flight capabilities, you see here, it's got really good ability to just move around terrain and get itself positioned where you want to. I feel like that is one of the best qualities of like the Byrlance, rather than trying to fight from the sky. At least the regular Byrlant, its movement is best used for just moving into position. There, that lack of tackle there made me kind of sad. I thought I would be able to get it. Ultimately could not. But at least I stunned him, I suppose. I wasn't followed up on. And as you see with that volley of rockets, stacking any of these individual weapons ends up doing some really good damage overall. Unfortunately got caught in the tackle there. Looks like he was actually going after somebody else too, so that's kind of funny there. Oh, that Ifrit knocked. Watch out for him. The Ifrit knocked. That one right there, actually. Just wandered right back into him and managed to get a counter tackle off on him. So, hooray for that. Not quite sure what stunned me, but if I had to hazard a guess, it was probably the guy up there. In any other situation right here, yeesh. Those are big numbers on downswings. Any other situation right there, wandering into a support like that would have been great for me. Too bad I was already really injured as it was. Otherwise, I probably could have finished that fight, but the knocked came up behind me. That should probably be unsurprising considering I just fought him a second earlier. But we're back into the fight again. And again, using that mobility to get myself into position. There we see an absolutely failed attempt at the exact strafing run idea that I was talking about before. We were gonna clip the grenade on the terrain, unfortunately, there. This kind of annoyed me in the moment, too. He just keeps hiding, which I guess probably makes sense considering raid versus support situation here, but I just had a hard time getting an angle on him the whole time. But luckily, right here, since he wasted his tackle, made it much easier for me to get myself into position. Actually, I probably actually should have moved in with the melee when he was at the top there and couldn't boost anymore. But ultimately, we got the kill, and now we see some of those missiles stacking damage on the target. Unfortunately, I think I stunned an ally there. Not ideal at all. Oh, he dodge rolled through the good move on his part, dodge rolling through my attack. But here we've got the... Is that the Gundam or the Gem? I don't remember if that's Aqua Gundam or Aqua Gem, but we managed to get him in the back right there. He probably should have been paying a little bit more attention to me. Now we're flying indoors. So that's interesting. But we managed to zero in. Unfortunately, the target's going to shift right here. To me, actually. So right now, I think it's 3 times score, but I am worth 3 times points as well. And up against the support, this would be ideal, but you'll see right up here that Noct again manages to get me right in the side. So Noct does what he's supposed to do, blindsides me with his stealth and prevents me from taking out... Well, I guess I was the target, but prevented me from getting my triple time score I would have been able to get if I had been able to get that kill. So that was a good strike on his part. Frustrating for me, of course, but exactly what he was supposed to do. But we're getting back in here. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, so we're not going to be able to do much good anymore. It would have been great if we could, because again, we dropped right in front of that support, but unfortunately he was on the ball, tackled through my damage, and I wasn't able to get that final kill. So, good work on him for that. But as we move over to the post-game screen here, you'll be able to see my end stats and see that this thing, it does do decent damage. If you manage to get into position with it, land your hits well, there's a lot it can do. Again, those missiles do a lot of great damage, so get good with landing those missiles, get used to being able to control those rockets, and you're generally going to be able to do great with this thing. So long as, you know, everyone on the enemy team doesn't decide to start shooting at you because you're one of the biggest things on the field within your cost range. But that'll do it for now. I can't wait to get more to you. I'm trying to get a video with the Hainu Gundam because I have it, and I had one, and I forgot to save the video, but working on that, and hopefully we can get that sooner than later. I will see you next time, though.